Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all honor and glory to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakakwadash, and double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, Rule Web, and great example to his younger brothers in the truth, and peace and blessings to the hopefully elect. And Lord willing, this edifying lesson. It's not going to be long, it's just going to be a quick lesson on what I heard. I watching Redacted. I watched this video right here, and from how it started off, it made me think of the scripture in Second Ezra chapter 16. But we gonna get into it, and Lord willing, this edifying.
Let's turn our attention to Ukraine because they are out of young men. Where they all go, they
Dead.
sent them all off to war to die needlessly when they could have lived and we could have had a peace agreement over a year and a half ago. Ukraine.
Yeah, and that's the point right there. We ain't gotta watch the whole video, which you can go to Redacted and watch it if you want to. But I watched half of it. I think I watched a little bit. I might watch the whole thing. But the point was the beginning. All of Ukraine's young men are dead. NATO has killed an entire generation. And ultimately the same thing is gonna happen here in Babylon. We're gonna get it out the scriptures, you know. And I start at the top since I'm gonna start at the top since I just want one point, but I read it down in Second Ezra chapter 16 because these are the times we approach it. This is on Second Ezra chapter 16 and verse 1. Woe be unto Babylon and Asia. Woe be unto thee, Egypt and Syria. Gird up yourselves with clothes of sack and hair. Bewail your children and be sorry, for your destruction is at hand. And this ultimately representing America, because America is going to be destroyed. Babylon. Then America's compared to Egypt. They say, a sword is set upon you, and who may turn it back? A fire is sent among you, and who may quench it? And this going to if you go into Isaiah 47, there's plenty of scriptures, but ultimately it's going into those missiles. That destruction that's going to come upon this place. A fire is sent among you, and who may quench it? It say plagues are sent, and that ultimate plague is the missiles are sent unto you, and what is he that may drive them away? Yeah, ain't nobody gonna be able to turn these missiles around. Your defense system, nothing gonna be able to stop it. Stop these missiles. Not one of them. So like it. It say the plagues are sent unto you, and what is he that may drive them away? Yeah, you're not gonna be able to stop these missiles. Not your defense system. None of that is gonna be able to stop these missiles that are gonna be sent to Babylon the Great, which is America. It say verse 6, it say, may any man drive away a hungry lion in the wood? Next question. Or may any one quench the fire in stubble? Or may anyone quench the fire in stubble when it have begun to burn? May one turn again the arrow that is shot of a strong archer? And the answer to all that is nobody, man. You gotta you run up on a hungry lion in the wood. You got a fight on your hand. If a fire get into the stubble and get to burning, you got a fire on your hand. And if a arrow is shot by a mighty archer and it's headed towards you, you got a problem on your hand. And with that, man, you better hope it don't hit you because you're not gonna be able to turn away. It's gonna pierce through you, man. Verse 8, it say, the mighty Lord sendeth plagues, and who is he that can drive them away? Yeah, Esau ain't gonna be able to drive these plagues that are finna come upon his ass away, man. Verse 9, it say, a fire shall go forth his wrath, and who is he that may quench it? Verse 10 it say, he shall cast lightnings, and who shall not fear? He shall thunder, and who shall not be afraid? The Lord shall threaten, and who shall not utterly be beaten to powder at his presence? And when those missiles get shot off, the Lord gonna be here, you know. The Lord gonna be arriving, you know, to deliver his elect before those missiles hit ground zero. It say, the earth quaketh and the foundations thereof. The sea riseth up with waves from the deep, and the waves of it are troubled, and the fish thereof also before the Lord, and before the glory of his power. For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. His arrows that he shoot are sharp and shall not miss. They're going into those missiles when they begin to be shot unto the ends of the world. Yeah, from Russia to America, from China to America, from France to America. All these countries gonna shoot at America, even the allies of America. You go into Revelation, what that is, Revelations, what is that? Oh my Bible. What is that? Revelation. I want to say the whole chapter. Is it 17? I think it's Revelation 17. If I ain't mistaken. Revelation 17. I ain't gonna read it. Revelation 17 in verse 16. Well, I read it. It's just showing that the allied nations gonna shoot at her as well. And this chapter is talking about mystery Babylon, the great mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. That's just what it's talking about. And it's all talking about that. Verse 16 to say, I start at 14. Revelation 17 and 14 and say, these shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them, for he is the Lord of the Lord. He is Lord of lords and King of kings. And they that are with him are called and chosen and faithful, Lord willing, we are part of that number. You know, that's why we do what we do. That's why we teaching our people, you know, because we want our people to get it as well. That's why we give diligence to we not only we doing this for ourselves, working out our own salvation with fear and trembling, but we also doing this with uh uh with the intent on waking others up. But we've grown so much in the truth, or you gonna grow to the point if you're not at that point yet. You gonna grow to the point where you want people to get it, you want to tell people, but you get to the point like it's a waste of time because this ain't for everybody. But we sincerely we want our people to understand this. We don't want our people to die. But that's just what it is, man. And who are we? You know? We just hope we escape. It's a selfish thing, man. But it's selfish in a way, but at the same time, we do this every day, week in, week out, in hopes to bring light and guidance to those who are without the light and guidance, man. To guide our people, we are those shepherds, you know, who Yahweh shall set up in these, who Yahweh Shem Yahweh shall set up in these last days. Those shepherds up underneath Yahweh Shai, that 144,000, trying to, you know, reach our people with the words of the Lord. And the Lord word gonna gather. We ain't doing nothing spectacular. We just teaching them the scriptures as was given to us, man. Freely have we received, freely give. It say verse 15 it say, and he said up unto me, the water which thou sawest where the horse sitteth, because when you read back up in the chapter going by about the beast, you know, the woman riding upon the beast, if I'm mistaken. Yeah, and the woman riding upon the beast. You just have to read the chapter, you know, it's breakdowns on it. So you just type in Revelation 17 breakdown. GMS Revelation 17 breakdown. It'll pop up. It say, and he said up unto me, The water which thou sawest were where the horse sitteth are people and multitude and nations and tongues, going into how America have military bases all over the place, and they sit in the America is stationed in every country on the earth, man. Got embassies and military bases. Basically, I forgot what they call it. Fuck. King David had them set up. I think it started with a G. Hey, it's in my mind. I can't think of it. Garrisons. You know, America got garrisons all over the fucking earth, man. Verse 16 it say, in the 10 horns which thou sawest going into, the EU, these EU nations, the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore. Yeah, they gonna have. I mean, America gonna do something in these, you know, uh, uh, uh damn, or not Turkey, Britain, France, or Spain, Portugal, all those nations gonna turn. Germany, uh, just those nations that are part of that team, they gonna turn on America. You know, the EU nations, they gonna turn on America, and what they gonna do? It say on the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. How they gonna do that? With those ICBMs, man. They gonna use the missiles on America. So let's get back into that second Ezra 16 and verse 14. Behold, the plagues are sent, and and the plagues are sent and shall not return again until they come upon the earth. Yeah, the missiles. They gonna burn this place up, man. It say the fire is kindled and shall not be put out till it consume the foundations of the earth. Like it say like as an arrow which is shot of a mighty archer returneth not backward. Even so the plagues. Um, verse 16 again. It say, like as an arrow which is shot of a mighty archer returneth not backward, even so the plagues that shall be sent upon the earth shall not return again. And this was a vision that Ezra was seeing. That's why he said this. It's verse 17 to say, woe is me, who will deliver me in those days. Yeah, because they knew about reincarnation back then. So he knew he was gonna be back in those times, and he was gonna need to be delivered. How terrible the vision was going into the day of the Lord, because ultimately that's what he's just breaking down, the day of the Lord, man. Verse 17 it say, woe is me, who will deliver me in those days." Verse 18 it say, "The beginning of sorrows and great death." I mean, the beginning of sorrows and great mourning, the beginning of famines and great death, the beginning of wars, and the powers shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils, and what shall I do when these evils shall come? Verse 19 is it read, "Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendments. But for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges." Verse 21 it say, okay, yeah, we almost there. Verse 21 it say, "Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap, upon the earth, that they shall think themselves to be in good case. And even then shall evil grow upon the earth, famine, and great and the sword, famine, and great confusion. For many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, and the others that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. And the sword is a killing instrument, going to the gun, the actual sword, and those missiles are also compared. The ICBM missiles are also compared as swords in the scripture. You know, verse 23, it reads, "And the dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man to comfort them." Yeah, ain't gonna be no more funerals and people burying people. No, you're gonna be laid out in the middle of the street like piles of shit, man. People just gonna be dead, and ain't gonna be nobody that'll bury them or none of that. So, like, it say, and the earth shall be wasted, and the city shall be cast down, and there shall be no man left to till the earth and to sow it. Verse 25, it say, the trees shall give fruit, and who shall gather them? The grapes shall ripen, and who shall tread them? For all the places shall be desolate of men. So that one man shall desire to see another and to hear his voice. For of a city there shall be 10 left, and two of the field which shall hide themselves in the thick groves and in the clefts of the rocks, as in as in as in so like it's tongue twister. As in an orchard of olives, upon every tree there are left 3 or 4 olives, or as when a vineyard is gathered, there are left some clusters of them that diligently seek through the vineyards. Even so, in those days there shall be 3 or 4 left by them that search their houses with the sword. Yeah, we're gonna be in that time of anarchy and chaos. You know, it's gonna get bad in the earth, man. It's gonna be terrible in the earth, man. Then the missiles gonna come. War is coming, and that's what we finna get. And just what she said, it's finna happen here in Babylon, man. Verse 32, it say, "And the earth shall be laid waste, and the fields thereof shall wax old, and her ways and all her paths shall grow full of thorns, because no man shall travel through therethrough. And the virgin shall mourn, having no bridegrooms, no young men. And the women shall mourn, having no husbands. And their daughters shall mourn, having no helpers. In the war shall their bridegrooms, the young men, be destroyed, and their husbands shall perish of famine, the older men." So the young men are gonna die by war, and the older men are gonna die by famine. Hear now these things and understand them, ye servants of the Lord. And that's the point. So hey, this is this is gonna happen throughout the whole earth, man, because it's gonna be a shortage of men, period. Because World War III ain't gonna be like World War II or World. No, it's gonna go down. It's gonna be some motherfuckers dying. They gonna top the death rates. World War III before the missiles, they gonna top those rates. The amount of people died in these wars, in this third war, man, with boots on the ground, Navy battles, air battles, you know, it's gonna be a lot of people dying. It's gonna be the draft is coming back, you know. So let me just play this again. And I'm gonna close that.
Let's turn our attention to Ukraine because they are out of young men. Where they all go, they
Dead.
sent them all off to war to die needlessly when they could have lived and we could have had a peace agreement over a year and a half ago. Ukraine has sacrificed an entire generation of young men so that President Zelensky could sell a war to the world. And now Time magazine is reporting that the average age of a soldier in Ukraine is 43. That's outrageous to think about how they're gone. This is the Time magazine article we talked about a couple weeks ago. We're going to talk a little bit more about it.
And that's pretty much the point. They're gone. You know, in the wars. Read it one more time. Second Exodus chapter 16, because that's the precept that came to mind when I heard the video start. Second Ezra chapter 16 verse 34. In the war shall their bridegrooms be destroyed, and their husbands shall perish of famine. So with that, Lord willing us edifying, I want to end it giving all honor and glory to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai by Hashem, and God for God's double honor to the apostles and the elders of great millstone, rule web, and great example to his young brothers in the truth. Shalom, Kwame Shalom, Shalom.